Hello and welcome to This Time Africa, right here in the studios of Afrique Today. And I am your host, Thea Matilda Banga. As you know, this is the platform that highlights African businesses, men, women, culture, investment, education, music, leaders, politics. But the question is always, what's on this time? And so today we are looking at writers, we're looking at authors and poets, and I am privileged and honored to have somebody with me who has been in the business for a long time, and this is no other person but an author and a poet, Mr. Danny Queen, or is commonly known as Poet Danny Queen. Danny, welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here.
I am so glad that you are here, and we are going to, I love writing, I'm an author too, so I'm very excited for us to talk about poetry. First of all, I want to ask, what inspired you? What's your inspiration?
Well, I've been writing since I was about 6 or 7 years old.
I was going to ask you that. When did you start? Yeah.
I started. I mean, it was just something that I had within me. It's just this, I always had this need to speak. I always had this need to express myself. And it's like God just put words in my mouth. Sometimes I may know what I want to write or what I want to write. And I may know what I want to say, but I don't always necessarily know how I'm going to say it. And then that comes, as the Greeks used to say, when the muse come down, when the spirit come down, when the spirit of God come down, then He give you what to say.
That's right.
I don't always know.
you don't always know.
I know I want to say something, but I don't know how I want to say it all the time.
That's right. So is there something that triggers the writer in you? Are there situations that you see and you're like, whoa?
Well, yeah. Sometimes, there's situations. I read a lot. All writers read a lot.
Yeah.
I read a lot. Sometimes things people say. Sometimes something on the news, maybe an incident, something I heard somebody say in a conversation. It could be anything, and then sometimes it's just in the air. I often say that creativity oftentimes have a mind of its own.
It does have a mind of its own.
It feels like, as a writer, that sometimes it comes so easy. It's almost like I'm sitting there, I'm just holding the pen, because I write longhand. And the other times, a little more difficult. So I don't never force anything. I just let it flow. When it's time to come, it'll come.
I think poetry, like music, it's given. I think.
Yes.
I think it comes from some kind of realm that just ushers in either words, and from that word you can pick up words and write a poem. Or if it's music, there's something that comes naturally.
Sometimes it's subconscious.
Yes.
It's not always the conscious mind.
Yes.
Sometimes it comes to you subconsciously. I've dreamt things in my sleep, and I woke up and said, "Oh, where'd that come from?" And I wake up and I write it down on a piece of paper. I go back to sleep.
Trust me, I've done that. Matter of fact, I have little bits of notes here and there. There are songs that are on my phone I could play when we have time that I just maybe dreamt about or just had from my subconscious and recorded it.
Yeah, sometimes late at night, early in the morning, because I'm a night person. I may write 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I may write all night long. I've done that many times. Just written all night long until I get out. And then the process for me is like sometimes I'm really have a really strong idea. I'll put a little jazz music on in the background, just a little bit, just so I can barely hear it.
Yeah.
Then I'm good to go, and I'll put it on repeat. I may do that for 3 or 4 hours just so I can hear it, because that's where I am emotionally.
That's right.
At that time, and then after I'm finished, I don't want to hear it no more. Then I'm drained. I need to go to sleep.
That's
because
right.
it's mental.
It is.
It's very mental, as it is emotional. It's sometimes draining, but when you're in that zone, it could be hours and hours.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
It's almost like, Matilda, it's almost like giving birth.
How so?
Because I oftentimes say I'm pregnant with possibilities.
Oh.
And when the writer's in that state of mind.
I'm going to steal that line. Pregnant
write that down.
I've had that, but it just makes more sense to me. Pregnant with possibilities.
Pregnant with possibility. Because you don't know what the spirit going to bring forth.
Yes.
If you know it's going to bring forth, you don't necessarily know how you're going to bring it.
That's right.
I had a mentor used to always say, when you turn on the brain computer, you might be surprised what you get in the printout.
That's right.
So that's the way I'm looking at it for me.
That is very good. That's very good. So would you say your poems are more narrative, or are they lyrical, or are they dramatic? Is it
Well,
one of each?
it could be anything because it depends on who I'm speaking for, who I'm speaking to. It depends on the writer. Sometimes I'm speaking to people of maybe a certain ethnic group, the certain topic, it may be political, because I write all kinds of stuff. So sometimes I'm political, sometimes I'm humorous. It just depends.
Well, let's hear one of it. Let's hear one of it.
Okay.
What?
So
which one are you going to?
This is a piece called Color Me Poetry.
Color Me Poetry, okay.
Yeah, and I'll just read part one. Color me poetry. Color me the man that cried I am, and that would be my eternal flame. Color me poetry, for nobody knows my name. I am the middle passage, and after, you are me, and I'm you. We wear the mask of America, something old, something new. For I am poetry. I am the living experience. I am the lifelong proof. Color me the poetry of nothing but the truth. Color me the love child lost in the promised land. I am a poem for black hearts going to meet the man. I am not to be sold nor bought. So color me a scholar in the school of thought. For I am poetry. Color me the rose and the thorn. I am the timeless hope of black. I am the timeless hope of dreams yet untold. I am for my people a portrait of pride. Color me the Negro who speaks the rivers deep down inside. For I am poetry. Let us lift every voice and sing of black and unknown bards of long ago. Color me a song in spite of myself that all the world might know. Color me poetry, for I am poetry.
Ooh, I love that. Let me see. I love this. It says, oh, is this the one that says, I am for my people a portrait of pride. Color me the Negro who speaks of rivers deep down inside, for I am poetry. Oh my God, amazing, amazing. What was your thought behind this?
Well, I wanted to play tribute to black literary artists, so all the titles, the whole point, part one and part two, is made up of book titles of well-known authors like Langston Hughes and Maya Angelou and a lot of different people. I just took the titles of some of their works and then incorporated into a poem and some of the poets as well. So I'm paying tribute to black literary artists throughout the whole thing.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And I also see this. There's a song that says, "Let us lift every voice and sing." Let us lift every voice and sing. That's the national anthem.
Yeah, that's the national.
And it's a song that I really like. But this is amazing. So this is dedicated sort of to the black authors and artists.
Right.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay.
And so I'm always talking about reading and the power of reading. So this is the piece I would like to share because when you think about it, sometimes people don't like to read. It's not just children, but sometimes growing up. Sometimes we don't like to read. Sometimes we don't take the time to read. And reading is the most powerful thing you can do. Frederick Douglass, during his time, he had to teach himself to read. The slave master's child helped him to read, and he went from there and he taught himself. He learned a little bit from the slave master's child, and then he learned the rest of it. He just, learned on his own.
That's right.
And taught himself to read from there. So the power of reading. I always say no writer can really be a great writer if you don't read. I read 3 and 4, sometimes 5 newspapers and magazines when I'm researching a day, every day.
That's great.
Yeah, because you have to stay abreast to what's going on in the culture. So sometimes what I write may be political. I mean, it may be anything. So this is a piece, even for young people as well, encouraging them to read. Read. It's time to read the handwritings on the wall when one too many of us don't like to read at all. But the more you read, the more you know. And the more you learn, the more you grow. Read. In the school of life, the way to succeed is to realize that you are what you read. To read, write, and speak very well, nevertheless, are the seeds to the secrets of success. The art of ignorance will always intercede on the behalf of those who will not read. Reading as insight to those who are blind is food for thought to a hungry mind. Read. Some things can never take the place of the need that comes from what we read. But the more you read, the more you grow. And the more you learn, the more you know. Read, read, read.
Read.
The
more you learn, the more you grow. I mean, it's not something that needs to be. But it's not something that needs to be debated at all.
No.
It's we all know that if you don't read, the mind becomes. And I'm so happy we have these audio books that people can listen to.
Yes, I love audiobooks.
I love audiobooks.
Matter of fact,
are you planning on doing putting some of these on audio?
Well, I have recordings. I have CDs. Yes.
Okay.
I have see these are some of my poetry CDs here. Of
Okay.
course, this one is music because I'm a musician, so I wrote all the music on here, and then I have artists who sang it. But yeah, the audio books are beautiful. Matter of fact, I just finished listening to Michelle Obama's book.
Oh,
On
great.
Becoming, and it's wonderful. It's 19 hours and it's 16 CDs.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Wonderful.
I need
It
to
really
get that
is.
because, I
Yes.
am like
Oh,
a
man.
number one fan for audiobooks now.
Really?
Yes, I love audiobooks.
Some people say it's a lazy way to read, but I don't say that. It's just that it's a different way to read. Because even though I have even though I have the audiobook, but I have the book too. So now I listed audiobook, and I go
yeah.
back and read. But it's it's interesting because you use a different. It's like you use a different part
Style,
of
yeah,
your
the
brain.
brain, that's right.
Yeah,
Yes, uh-huh.
listening. And it's great. When you're on a plane somewhere or something like that. But a lot of times I'm driving, I'll listen to an audiobook like that. Then I'll go back and read the book.
I am somebody that,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at whether it's a Bible or a book, a story, whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is, it's very colorful. I'm a very colorful reader, meaning I underline,
I do that,
I
yeah.
highlight.
You know what?
So my books are all, you can tell. if
Sister,
I have
we're on the
not
same
read
page.
it.
But you know what? For me, that's a carryover from college.
Yes.
Actually, all these because if you see my writing desk at home, I got all these different color markers and all of that.
Yes.
And when I'm reading, and also now I'm at the end now. I'm sorry that it's ending. I was reading Aretha Franklin's book,
Oh,
Respect.
okay.
Yes,
I haven't gotten
wonderful
that
book.
yet. I need to
Oh
get it. I
yes,
need to
wonderful
get it.
book. It really is. The Queen of Soul. They call her Queen of Soul for nothing.
The Queen
She's
of
something else
Soul.
now. And of course, I did a tribute to her as well. But yeah, the beauty of reading and listening, learning.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it is.
But the more you read, the more you grow. And the more you learn, the more you know. Therefore, read, and read.
Yeah.
All right. I can't stop listening. Let's have one more. Let's keep going
well,
because this is tonight, and we're just going to look at, read, just listen to this beautiful poetry and writing
I
of,
want to do a
of
piece
poet Danny.
that's for the young people, and it's entitled "Do It for the Children."
Oh, okay.
Do it for the children. In the love of every man, woman, boy, and girl, you can find the key to the heart of the world. For each and every one, gotta find a better way to do what some say just can't be done. Do it for the children and all that you do and say. Do it for the children. A lifetime of love got to be a better way. Do it for the children. Teach the children the truth. The innocence of a child is a seed of truth for all to see. Teach the children the truth. They're the fruit of the family tree. There's so much the world needs that there's just too little love. But all we really got to do is give a little more love. Do it for the children and all that you do and say. Do it for the children. A lifetime of love got to be a better way. Do it for the children. Teach the children the truth.
Teach the children the truth. You know what? You are a natural. You are a
Thank
natural.
you.
I can see that and I can sense that. But we're going to talk about what presentations you've made and where you've been, and who has heard your poems, because I know this is not. I know you've been doing this for a long time. But before we do that, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. I'm here in the studios with poet Danny Quinn, and this is This Time Africa. We'll be right back. Welcome back to This Time Africa, right here in the studios of Africa Today, and I'm your host, Sia Matilda Banga. I have with me in the studios an author, a writer, a poet, and a musician, poet Danny Quinn. And we have been talking and reading some poetry. I hope you love them. So we are going to continue. But Dan, welcome again for stopping by. Welcome again.
My pleasure.
I wanted to ask. These are so beautiful.
Thank you.
What have you been reading to audiences? What stages have been presented to you?
I've been reading to audiences since I was probably like in my teens. Matter of fact, I've done a lot of readings at a lot of different places. But let me tell you this: as a teenager, I used to go door to door selling poetry.
Wow!
And my friends be like, "Nobody's gonna buy that." I'm like, "Well, we'll see." And I would go to different communities nearby where I would live as a teenager. And I'd go door to door, knock on the door. Ma'am, can I help you? Yes, ma'am. I'm selling some poetry. Selling some what? I'm selling some poetry.
I know, right?
Oh, all right, well, let me take a look. All right, come on in, son. You know, at that time, people were like that.
That's
and
good.
they would buy poems from me.
That's very good.
I did
Amazing.
that on the weekends all the time as a teenager. So as a teenager coming up, I never had a part-time job. I just went to the street and sold poetry.
Oh my
Some
God.
people thought something was wrong with you, and others would, they would support you.
But it's the power of knowledge.
Yes.
It's the power of knowledge.
And sometimes I'd get a little depressed, and then my grandmother, she would say, "Well, son, don't worry." But she said, "Some will, some won't. So what? Keep stepping. God has given you a gift. Use it.
Some will,
Some won't.
some
so
won't.
what?
Keep stepping. Oh no.
So what?
What?
Some will, some won't. Some will, some won't. So what?
Keep stepping.
Keep stepping. That's
Some
what you
will,
do.
some won't. So
So
what? Keep stepping. I
Yes.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And another one is another thing that I always say to myself: I am, I can, I will.
Of course.
That's
yes.
affirmation. That's positive affirmation.
Oh yes, I do that every day. Every morning I wake up,
You gotta
even
do
before
that.
I step on the floor, I'm like, I am.
Yes.
Yes. So I mean that's very good. But let's listen to the next one. You're talking
this
about
piece
wings
is-
of a natural high.
Wings of a Natural High is motivational and inspirational at the
I
same
love
time.
because I'm a motivational speaker, so I love to hear.
Oh,
that.
wow. So this one is entitled Wings of a Natural High. If you're not afraid to try, there ain't no way life can pass you by, because when you know who you are, you can fly on the wings of the wind. But you got to know you got the power within. And so long as nothing beats a failure but a try, let me live my life on the wings of a natural high. I've been down, but I ain't never been out. And I've hit rock bottom enough times to know what I'm talking about. Somewhere beyond and above, the breath of life is God's gift of love. Through all pain, heartbreak, and strife, I'm simply hooked on the high of life. And so long as nothing beats the failure but a try, let me live my life on the wings of a natural high.
Oh my God! Can I look at that?
Yes.
Wow! I love that. I love that. I love that. Somewhere beyond and above the breath of life is the gift of God's love.
Yes.
Through all pain, heartbreak, and strife, I'm simply hooked on the high of life. And so long as nothing beats a failure but a try, let me live my life on the wings of a natural high.
Inspiration
Oh
and
my God.
motivation.
Can
I
you
believe in positive motivation.
I believe in it. I believe in it.
And
That's
believe me, this piece here is definitely a piece of motivation.
all right. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. That's why we're here.
Yeah, inspiration and motivation. This one
Pregnant
may-
with possibilities. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
this one here may be more motivational, but it's all right. It's called "Pay Me My Money." Okay,
Pay me my
If that ain't inspiration enough
Okay.
for y'all know what
Get
is.
my pay
My
back.
money.
All right. Let's hear. Let's hear it.
Pay me my money. Just so you pay me all that I'm due. If you have to rob Peter to pay Paul, that's on you. I'm coming from all ends just to make ends meet. So I'm overworked, underpaid, and dead on my feet. Don't want to rain on nobody's parade, but I want what I need, and I'm trying to get paid. And if you don't have it, no, I won't try and understand. So pay me my money, all of my money, just as soon as you can. I can't help but to regret it, because sometimes it's gone before I get it. And if I had what's due to me instead of just making do, I could pay Peter, Paul, and Mr. Bobo too. Don't mean to rain on nobody's parade, but I want what I need. I'm trying to get paid. And if you don't have it, no, I won't try and understand. So pay me my money, all of my money, just as soon as you can. Pay me my money. That's inspiration right there.
So it seems to me like this is you were like your thoughts were like this is a desperate situation.
Yes, that's the idea.
No, I'm not taking no for an answer.
Exactly.
I don't care if it rains on your parade.
Yes,
all I need is my money.
Need my money.
That's very
yes.
nice. That's very
so
nice.
So I'm just real about it, you know.
Okay, let's take one more, and I'm going to read my very short poem that I wrote while I was waiting for you.
Okay, so I'll do a short one. This is inspirational.
Okay.
And it's called I Am Because God Is.
Oh, okay.
Because of the God force within me, He is mine, then I am His. For I am what I am, all because God is. God is my heavenly Father from up on high and above, for He's the light of all life in the spirit of heavenly love. And when I find that I'm in need of heaven's intensive love and care, I just bow my head and whisper a prayer. And when life suddenly smiles upon me with a frown and all my ups start to look down, I put my trust in God because He's always around.
Yes.
My God is forever mine as I am eternally His. For I am what I am, all because God is.
God is.
God is.
I
That's
think
simple.
that takes you to the place of, you know, that there's a sigh I can hear at the end because God is. So it takes you to that place of peace.
Yes.
You know, a place of peace and assurance. So let's don't go into it. Don't take me there. But you know, while I was waiting for you, this is what I wrote. Just so. The sun shines bright anyway, whether we look for it or feel it. The sun shines bright. When we forget because it's gloomy, the sun still shines bright anyway. When there is no laughter but tears, the sun shines bright anyway. If you forget or you complain, the sun still shines bright anyway. Right where you are, the sun is shining bright anyway.
Wow. That's beautiful, sister.
Thank you. I just kind of like put something. I was like,
No, that's beautiful. You never know how and where you could be inspired. I wrote a piece some years ago that reminds me of, I did a piece some years ago called Moonlight Sunshine, and it was a love poem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember? I know you remember the words. You don't
I don't remember that one.
Okay.
But I do have one. I'd like to do a short poem dedicated to all the women, all the sisters.
Oh, please, can we do that?
Beautiful.
Let's do that.
It's called Chocolate City Candy. And it has a lot of calories now. It's a lot of calories. So you got to be careful.
All right.
But it's simply called Chocolate City Candy. And I wrote it for a friend of mine some years ago whose name was Candace.
Okay.
And Chocolate City Candy. Just a taste of you makes my life so complete. Learning to love you is a special treat. The little loving things you do forever makes you honey sweet. Your good and plenty loving just knocks me off my feet. You're my sugar baby, peppermint patty pearl, my M&M plain, Chocolate City candy girl, my lifetime lightsaver, Fifth Avenue, Lovers Lane Park. My buttered fingered whatchamacallit sets sweetness in the dark. Now and later you'll always be my Mary Jane, my baby Ruth, my mounds of almond joy, chocolate honey sweet tooth. Let me be your payday, sugar daddy galore, your 100 grand, Mr. Goodbar for sure. And when you turn on your total Tootsie Roll charms, your chocolate cherry kisses make me melt in your arms. You're my sugar baby, peppermint patty pearl, my M&M plain, Chocolate City candy girl.
I'm about to fall. I'm about to sleep.
I tell you, there's a lot of calories.
But it's so good. It's so good. Like, I mean, if you sing that, it's gonna make like women fall on their feet. Like, wow.
Women love that. And you know what? The men love that piece too.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and readings and stuff, they're coming to say, man, you got them on that chocolate corn, that chocolate candy poem, you know. Yeah, they love that. But it's really dedication to the women on behalf of the brothers.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate that on behalf of all the women. We truly appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I see you have a book. You're also an author.
Yeah, my book is called Color Me Poetry, which was the title of my show at Bowie. And this is like my, I think it's like the 10th collection or something like that. So this is, I have a new book coming out also, and it's entitled, I forget what it's called. Oh, it's called The Book of Tributes.
The Book of Tributes.
Yeah, I've written so much, and I've written so many tributes for so many different people. So one day I was, looking through this, put this collection together. I was going to do like selected poems, but then something said, well, you have all these tributes. Why not just put all the tribute poems into a book? And so I give tribute to people like, Marcus Garvey, a Chevy. A Chevy was one of from South Africa. He was one of my favorite artists. Things Fall Apart, tributes.
You know Chebe? Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, great art. Rosa Parks, many people.
Okay.
And so that's what the book of tributes is. But it's sports. It's in what's the medicine, entertainment, many different areas. Civil rights. So I pay tribute to all these people poetically because I've written all these poems, over the years, and then I've never had a book, that all the tributes themselves were in one collection.
Oh, okay.
And so that's what I'm doing in the next book. And so that's the first book that's coming out this year. That's coming out in May. And then my second book is called Life in Full Circle, Astrological Love Poems.
Yeah, I believe in that. I believe in life coming full cycle. So what's on for the future? What are your plans? What would you like the viewers to probably, how would you like them to support you?
Well, they can support my work by going to my website. Okay. And it's poetdannyqueen.com. You can go there, and also, I have CDs as well. I have about 25 music CDs, music and poetry, and this is.
You want to sing one?
Oh, I can't sing, but I did write it all though.
You wrote it, okay.
Yeah, this is.
I love to sing. It seems like I can't get people. I love to sing. So
really?
which one is it? Yes, I love.
So
to
this
sing.
This is one of my poetry CDs here, and this came out in 2000.
Okay.
And this is it's poetry and jazz music.
That's what I love jazz too.
And this one also. I mentioned it earlier. This is Moonlight Sunshine.
Okay.
And this is poetry and love music and jazz.
Okay.
And this came up about 7 years ago. So this is a few of my CDs.
All right.
But
so how can they reach you again? Your website?
My website. And also if you want to email me, drq1227@aol.com. My website, poetdannyqueen.com.
And that's how they can reach you and look at the different things. And, and they can buy the products there as well.
Yes, they can buy the products there.
Oh, that's great.
Or you can get in touch with me through email. Or, Are we allowed to give out phone numbers?
Yes, you can give your phone number. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a business phone number, 202-251-7743.
Great. So that's where you can reach Poet Danny Queen. And of course, he's an author, a poet, a musician. And I know you can't sing for me today, but that's okay. That's okay.
Maybe I'll do a song next time. I'll tell you what, though, Matilda, one of my favorite artists, old school, would be Sam Cooke.
Okay, I don't remember him, but
you don't remember him? No. Oh yeah, somebody watching remember who Sam Cooke is.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the great artists from back in the day.
Oh, good.
Here in America. Yeah.
Maybe if
Sam
I hear
Cooke.
Any of his songs.
Oh well.
Titles, maybe.
Yeah, I can think of one. I was born by the river in a little town, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. Something like that.
Wow.
And then Cupid drove back your bow. And darling, you send me, honest you do.
I don't remember it, but I can tell that you can sing. See, I love to sing.
Somebody remember Sam Cooke.
Oh, but it's been a wonderful time just having you here, and I wish we can have some more time.
Yes,
so what I want to do is to get a number of poets together.
Oh yeah,
so that we can look at your different styles.
Oh yeah, there's many
I just wanted to bring you on today so we can start the ball rolling. But I want to have a night of poetry where we can all, we can look at your different styles from the narrative.
Do like a round table?
Yeah, a round table.
Yeah, that would
be wonderful. Lyrical and all of that.
That's interesting you said it because there are probably as many different styles of writers as there are people who write. Yes. I mean, there's so many different styles.
Yeah, there are different styles.
And that's the beauty of it.
Of course.
That's the beauty of it, variety.
Yes. Yeah. I was reading and somebody was saying that the 20-line poem, the 20-line poetry, and I'm not like a poet, but I love to study, especially if I'm having a guest. I like to know what's going on with that. So when you look at all of those, varieties, I want to know from what point are you thinking of? Are you thinking of from a narrative point of view, a lyrical, a dramatic point of view? And so I believe that bringing a couple of you all together will be an interesting evening.
But I tell you what's amazing sometimes when you hit those young writers who do poetry right off the top of their head. I forget what they call it, but they just create it right on the spot, and they do it right off the top of their head.
Yep.
Have you seen that? That's amazing.
I have seen that.
I'm like, that is so amazing to see
I
young
thought I
people
used
do
to
that.
be like that before.
I forget what they call it.
But I lost it a little bit for politics.
Yes.
maybe.
Yes.
But this has been an amazing time with me right here in the studios with poet Danny Quinn. And this is where we bring down the curtain for today. Again, it's been an inspirational time. I am really looking forward to getting you and the rest of the team sometime very soon.
Thank you.
I look forward to that. Do you have any last word that you want to say to the viewers?
I just thank you. For when you have young people who are interested in poetry, interested in writing and music and anything, you have to nurture and cherish that, because that's God giving the gift to the young person.
Yes.
And anybody can have a gift. When you see that, nurture it.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Don't say, oh, he's just making noise. No, nurture that, because you never know what God has put in any person, any gift. Nurture it.
It's very, very important. Maybe we need to write something about nurture it.
Yes.
We need to write it, because it's so important that
It is indeed.
we leave a legacy, and we can develop and nurture that legacy through our youth.
Yes.
This has been an awesome time, and this is where, again, like I said, we drop the curtain down with poet Danny Quinn right here in the studios of Afrique Today. And this is me, Sia Matilda Banga, This Time Africa. As always, please check us out on www.afriquetoday.com. Go to YouTube and download the app, and watch us also on Twitter and Facebook. We'll be right here again with something new. I don't know what's on this time, but today we're here talking about poetry. I'll see you